So let us uh, discuss answer for third essay, that is lab errors, that is about discuss about pre-analytical, analytical and post-analytical errors. See, in clinical laboratory especially we are discussing about biochemistry laboratory. We are discussing about biochemistry lab. We are doing different types of test. Lab parameters means test like it may be liver function test, like to diagnose or follow up jaundice, bilirubin, or about liver problem, protein. So also about renal function like urea creatinine, about urine analysis, about serology, whatever the test, lipid profile related. So we need proper test, okay, to be done, and we need result reliable or accurate, okay, result reliable or accurate, which is very close to the true value. So what is error? Error, what you say in common language, it is a mistake. So result of measurement minus a true value of the measured, that is error. Result of measurement minus a true value of the measured. The difference is the error. Measured value minus true value, what value you get actually, and what is the actual value, the difference is the error, okay. So usually there are three phases of laboratory investigation. We do laboratory test. If you see in the clinical laboratory, there are three phases. One is pre-examination or pre-analytical, before doing the actual test. Second one is the examination error, that is the analytical error. And third one is the examination or analytical error is what test actually we are doing, that is deals with the machine, okay. And post analytical examination or post analytical error, what it means, after examination result is released, then what to do after that, okay. So these are the three errors. We will see one by one. Pre-examination errors or variables include the following. One is test ordering and utilization. Second one is patient preparation, okay, patient preparation. And third one is specimen collection, acquisition also comes, and also patient identification, where it takes importance in test ordering and utilization. So here the sources of error include inappropriate test requested by doctors or clinician, or bad handwriting, wrong patient identification also sometimes happen, and due to delay order of testing, and inappropriate control of stat test. Stat means important test, okay, which is given priority, important test, that is stat test. So these also include under error. So usually these error occurred in the nursing station or even in clinicians table, okay, done by mistakes done by clinicians, either knowingly or unknowingly, but error is error. So test ordering and utilization is mainly it may wrong handwriting, you know that it may misunderstood. If handwriting is not proper also, it is difficult to read, or it may be wrong read and processed in wrong way. And also test ordering and utilization, inappropriate test, what we call inappropriate test means, suppose patient is already diabetic, then what is the use of conducting glucose tolerance test, it is not required. So it is only required for the diagnosis purpose. So actually, what is glucose tolerance test? It takes more time. Person need to stay in the lab or in the hospital nearly 2 to 3 hours. So blood is collected fasting, then glucose is given, then after 1 hour, 2 hour. So it takes time. So unnecessarily wasting of time. If patient is already known diabetic, we can go for the direct fasting sugar or sometimes glyco-HP and all. This is one of the example. What it says, inappropriate test. Sometimes taking all the unnecessary tests which delay the report and delay the diagnosis. Patient preparation also important. What is the meaning of this patient preparation? Patient preparation means here some test need, like as I explained in the previous essay, creatinine clearance. We have to explain the patient. You have to get 24 hours urine. You have to take a 24 hours urine polythene bag, which is thymol crystal is added to that. You have to measure the 24 hours urine volume and collect it, and you have to report for calculation purpose. And some of the tests like OGTT, you have to avoid. You have to take enough carbohydrate meal 3 days prior to the test. Avoid any medications, heavy exercise and all. Some advice needed, like some hormones, FSH, prolactin, some advice is needed by the OBG peoples. Even specimen collection, acquisition and patient identification also important. Collection timings, for example, specimen collection timings. See, I just according to the slide I will go. Ordering wrong test not only is wasteful but also potentially harmful to the patient. Wrong test, as I told, instead of fasting sugar, just ask a non-diabetic asking OGTT. Okay, so lab must engage hospital staff to promote appropriate test utilization. So we need to give clear cut lab format, different types of the test, and what are the precautions to be taken. All the details we have to inform to the doctors or clinicians, which carries even in standard operating procedures, SOPs and other lab manuals. Okay, this is typically done through a laboratory formulary committee or test utilization committee that drawn from hospital wide resources and influences physicians test ordering behavior. So about the patient preparation, laboratory tests are affected by many factors such as intake of food. For example, if fasting, 8 to 12 hours fasting needed. If you take 1 cup of milk also, blood sugar goes random, values will come high. It is not fasting. Alcohol, sometimes it is central depressant nervous system. It may alter the your blood pressure and other lab reports also. Drug, definitely it affect. Smoking, there is an elevation in the temporary elevation in transient glucose, hyperglycemia may occur. Exercise, even CPK, creatine phosphokinase increase may be there. Stress also release some hormones. So the instruction and procedures for patient preparation should be included in both laboratory and hospital manual, and this manual to be circulated all the department including clinicians table and nursing station. So these instructions manual should be transmitted to hospital in both oral and in writing. They need to be get trained properly. So about specimen collection, acquisition and patient identification. So we have to choose corrected tubings. Incorrect tube, various problems comes in incorrect tube container. Suppose fasting blood sugar means you have to take fluoride oxalate tube as a anticoagulant, gray color tube. Usually most of the technicians knows, but what about the clinicians and sisters? Or sometimes they may also collecting, so they should know. Incorrect anticoagulant, especially for coagulation profile, we need to collect proper exact amount of the blood and anticoagulant ratio. Patient identification, especially nowadays they are using barcode test system. Barcode reading instrument is there. So hospital information system, everything is recorded, and they will give a barcode. So barcode contains all the details. So if you are manually writing, it may be, there is a chance of it may disappear, or it is difficult to read all this problem. You have to collect proper amount of blood sample. Sometimes hemolysis, different causes for hemolysis. One of is the reason for hemolysis is prolonged tourniquet application may cause bulging or hematoma hemolysis. Sometimes our lipemic serum means high lipid triglyceride, and jaundice, icteric means jaundice sample also interfere with the test result. Wrong collection time, improper transport conditions. Wrong collection times, for example, particularly fertility profile, FSH, LH, prolactin, even cortisol, some of the drugs need to be collected. Suppose cortisol need to be collected sometimes morning 4 a.m., evening 8 p.m. In these hours, their normal range also, their level also varies. So that should be noted by the staff nurse or technician, or even doctor should advise before sending the patient to the person to the lab. Inappropriate transport condition. Suppose if you are taking any lab, any culture and all, we have to take transport media, and suppose if it is a test like ammonia, ABG and all, we have to carry ice cube. Okay. And if you are transporting to long far places for hormones and all, we have to separate the serum, otherwise there is a chance of hemolysis. Separate the serum, there is a need of a centrifuge, and separate the serum, put it in the vial and transport. Okay. So how to control of error occurring during specimen collection, acquisition and patient identification. As I told, patient identification nowadays becomes easy because of the barcode system. If you put the barcode, each and every patient detail will come, his age, address, even what test requested, whether he paid or not, all the details will get. So there are different causes for hemolysis. Use of small needle, usually we use 23 gauge needle. If small needle, this may cause hemolysis. Forcing the blood through the needle, you have to remove the needle and transfer. Shaking the blood vigorously. When you are mixing with the anticoagulant, you have to mix slowly, not vigorously. So centrifugation, usually 2000 to 3000 rpm. If you are putting it in a very high rpm, there is a chance of hemolysis. Immediately freezing or thawing, putting in the EDTA blood, putting in the refrigerator, there is a chance of hemolysis. We have to be careful about it. Prolonged tourniquet application, we have to remove the tourniquet after manufacture. Okay, before removing the needle, otherwise there is a chance of hematoma, swelling, also hemolysis. What is the adverse effect of hemolysis? Do you know? Mainly it affects electrolytes, sodium and potassium. Potassium is intracellular ion, RBC. When RBC ruptures, potassium comes out. So potassium concentration outside the cell is high. So there is no use of using hemolyzed blood in potassium estimation. So some of the common tests affected by lipemic sample are electrolytes, bilirubin, iron binding, TIBC means total iron binding capacity, even magnesium, and enzymes like lactate dehydrogenase, because lactate dehydrogenase present in the RBC. Also jaundice, icteric sera may affect magnesium, cholesterol, creatinine, lipase, etc. GGT means gamma glutamyl transpeptidase. Okay, so it is necessary to follow the important precautions. If the serum plasma specimen are required for the test, then these should be done before. If serum or plasma specimen are required for the test, then these should be separated before transportation. Okay, serum. So serum can be separated samples transported through cool box at 2 to 8 degree temperature, normal refrigeration temperature. Specimen for bilirubin determination should be kept away from daylight and fluorescent light because it values may come low because of photo degradation. Okay, photosensitive bilirubin is photosensitive. Tests like phosphate, lactate, pyruvate must be performed as early as possible. Okay, even blood sugar also. So specimen rejection criteria, there are some specimen rejection criteria is there. Okay, improper labeled, unlabeled specimen, improperly collected, half completed requisition form, insufficient volume of the specimen. If hemolyzed specimen, patient not properly prepared for the test, like for example OGTT, not advised not to take any drugs previous day, all these things. Okay, so this is that is the about specimen rejection criteria. So next is analytical variable. During the test, during the measurement, problems can arise. Selection inaccurate method, we have to choose accurate method. For example, for the estimation of blood glucose, there is a glucokinase, hexokinase, glucose dehydrogenase, different method. So depending on the availability and the machine, we have to choose proper test, accurate test. Specimen mix up, instrument with poor precision, uncalibrated instrument, it need to be calibrated properly. Calibration means checking the whether machine is working properly or not. If we take incorrect volume of the specimen also may vary the result. Presence of interfering substances like bilirubin and all, it may interfere with the test. Okay, the analytical variables can be controlled by considering the various aspects of internal quality control. Selection of analytical method, the ideal analytical method should be accurate, precise, sensitive and specific. It should be accurate, okay, close to the correct value, precise. If you retest, you should get nearby or same value. It should be sensitive and specific. Okay, sensitive specific actual meaning is there is a less false positive and false negative result to be there. Suppose if you test if a patient is test 100 patient, so you should get at least if you test a known case, positive test cases in that kit or method, you should get 100% positive result, already known cases. Okay, at least 99 to 100%, then the kit is reliable, you can say. What are the reason? Unvalidated glassware, reagent, equipments may cause problems. So use validated glassware, reagent, equipment. Validation usually done by the company peoples. Okay, they check the instrument or 6 month or yearly basis. Okay, calibration using reference standard material, we can also calibrate standards. Okay, standards means suppose blood glucose the company provide 100 milligram standard with the preservative, so we supposed to get 100 milligram. If here and there we can calibrate using the method and make it to 100. Okay, comparison of result achieved with other method. Okay, inter laboratory comparisons, systematic assessment of factors influencing the result, that also involved. So analytical errors are classified as random error and systematic error. See, random error, as the name indicate, it is random. It occurs haphazardly and unpredictably. Haphazardly and unpredictably means without sudden or without our knowledge. They affect the reproducibility of the measurement. What is the reproducibility? Suppose my blood sugar is 100 in a particular Cobas machine, same sample if I put after 2 minutes, I supposed to get 100 or 99. Again after 5 minutes I should get 101 or 100. So repeated same values is reproducibility. So random errors reason is instability of the instrument, variation in the temperature. So we have to maintain the temperature. Usually they maintain low temperature in automated instrument areas. The central AC is there. Variation in reagent and calibrator. If you are purchasing different companies reagents, so it may cause random error. Variability in handling techniques such as pipetting, mixing and all. Variability in operators. Sudden change in the new operator, new technologist, it may cause untrained. Random errors can be minimized by proper sample collection procedure, use appropriate sensitive methodology, accurate training the staff not only once, repeated training is required, updating, supervision, some seniors should supervise, adherence to standard operating procedure, SOP we call. Each and lab, for each and test, each machine there is a need of standard operating procedure. Okay, we all should follow the same procedure. So systematic error is either all values high or low. It is not like jumping, high or low values. Systematic errors create characteristic bias on the test result and can be accounted for and applying correction. Okay, either all values, suppose calibrator albumin value is 4, so if you put the company value, if you put the same sample you should get another 5-10 days the same result. So after a few days if you check the albumin result, it is coming low or high, okay, with the same machine. So either low or high values. Either change in the reagent batch or modification of testing method. Okay, these errors can be corrected by using quality instrument, analyzing control sera and using different concentration of primary standard possible to control this error. Okay, last one is post analytical error. After testing there is a chance of error. While entering the report, wrong entry of the names, sample and values, if any code number is there or lab number, if you enter it wrong, that also possible. Report sent to wrong location. Supposed to send the result pediatric ICU, you are sending to medicine ICU. Okay, report eligible, not clear what is written there. Report not sent, some emergency report like CKMB, troponin and all, which is emergency for myocardial infarction. So report not sent also problem. Okay, so we, for emergency report we have to give priority. So the report signing signatory analyst, reporting or signatory analyst should verify the result entered manually or through online instruments interfaces before the result are reported or dispatched. What is the meaning of that? See, technicians or technologists doing the test, some seniors or verification, a separate person is sitting before dispatching the result or before releasing the result online. He verify, suppose different test is there, RFT, LFT and all, he check. If he finds some problem, result is too low or too high or some, he may call the technician or other person, he may ask to repeat the test and what happened. If it is true means release or repeat the test. Okay, so then there is no chance of this post analytical error, usually transcriptional error we call it. Okay.